So next generation consoles are nearly here, guys, and today Microsoft gave us a little bit more news about what we can expect from their next gen hardware and how they are going to bridge the gap between the next gen and current generation. We got a little bit more information on the Xbox Series X, and there was some pretty cool news today that I wanted to talk about in this video, which will focus on Microsoft's plans for the future and also on Cyberpunk 2077. So let's start off by looking at what Microsoft announced today. So earlier on, Microsoft actually uploaded an article which was written by Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, in which they gave us a little bit more information on what we can expect from the next generation of console. They talked about obviously the hardware and what the kind of performance we can expect from the Xbox Series X, and as expected, it's sounding pretty powerful. It's going to have a custom built SSD, quick resume for multiple games. That sounds like a really cool feature. So you're actually going to be able to have multiple games in standby mode and be able to switch between these. It's also going to have a dynamic latency input, HDMI 2.1, auto low latency mode. It will have variable refresh rate, and it will support 120 frames per second. So the console is going to be pretty powerful. It's going to obviously offer really quick load times, great visual fidelity, and just a really cool gaming experience. What was one of the most exciting features for me though in this article was not talking about the 12 teraflops that we can expect and what GPU is in the console, but more looking at what their vision is for their future of gaming. We do know from some announcements in the last couple of months that Microsoft have this idea of the Xbox console series family, and that they're wanting to support this cross-generational idea for at least the first 2 years in the Xbox Series X's lifespan. So they're talking about this next generation of game compatibility. We do know that they have committed that the current Xbox Series X, which is coming out in the holiday season of this year, will be completely backwards compatible with the Xbox 360 and the original Xbox, and that these games will play better than ever before. You'll be able to play all your favorite titles, including titles in the Xbox Game Pass, which is really cool, but they will offer steadier frame rates, faster load times, and obviously improved resolution and visual fidelity on the Xbox Series X if you choose to purchase that console, and none of that is going to need any developer work whatsoever. So they're already talking about this idea of 4 generations of gaming. But there is a new feature that sounds incredibly cool that Microsoft are pushing forward into the next generation, and that feature is called Smart Delivery. So what is Smart Delivery? Well, this technology basically allows you to buy a game once and know that whether you're playing it on Xbox One or Xbox Series X, you're actually getting the right version of that game on whatever Xbox console you're choosing to play that game on. They have committed to making all their first-party studios Smart Delivery, so this will include Halo Infinite, and if you purchase the game, for example, on the Xbox One, because you can't afford to buy the Xbox Series X later on, but eventually down the road you choose to purchase that console, you will actually only have to pay for that title once in order to be able to play the best available version of that game, depending on which console you're playing. One of the biggest issues definitely that we had in this current generation was the transition between, for example, the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One, or the PS3 and the PS4. And during that transition period, there were a lot of games that came out across both generations, and for many people they had to either purchase the game completely again on the new generation hardware, or they were able to actually purchase upgrade downloadable codes to be able to purchase a better version of the game. So for example, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, if I remember correctly, if you bought it on the PlayStation 3, you could then purchase an upgraded version of the game on the PlayStation 4 for about $10, I think it was. When you bought the game on the PlayStation 3, it came with a code which you put in, and that would give you access to the PlayStation Store, where you could actually purchase that $10 upgrade to play a better version of the game. So to a degree, you still had to purchase the game again, or at least pay for an upgrade. And then we had games like GTA 5 where you had to buy that again, and obviously The Last of Us, which came out on the PlayStation 3, and then only a year or two down the road, Sony actually brought out a remastered version of the game on the PlayStation 4 that people had to pay full price for. There was a lot of money that you had to put down in the initial transition from last gen to current gen. Well, it looks like Microsoft are trying to do away with that and are really trying to offer a feature that is very consumer friendly, very pro gamer, and gives people that freedom and that choice depending on their financial circumstances, so people don't feel pressured or pushed or have to wait for the next generation version or just buy that game again. So that's really cool. I really love the new smart delivery feature. What's also really cool about it as well is it's not only just going to be available exclusively for Xbox Game Studio titles, but Microsoft have also confirmed that this technology will be available for all developers and publishers if they choose to use it for their titles that will release on the Xbox One first, and maybe will come to the Xbox Series X later on when the console comes out in the holiday season, or later on from that. So apart from just wanting to use it for their own studios, they're also giving developers an opportunity to jump on board with this idea and with this brand new feature. And surprising nobody, CD Projekt Red straight away today announced and confirmed that Cyberpunk 2077 will be available for free on the Xbox Series X for those gamers that have already purchased it on the Xbox One. So in an official Twitter announcement today, CD Projekt Red commented that gamers should never be forced to purchase the same game twice or pay for upgrades, and that of course owners of Cyberpunk 2077 for Xbox One will receive the Xbox Series X upgrade for free when available. So how exactly this feature is going to work, we don't really know yet. We haven't been given much information about it. Whether or not you purchase the game on the Xbox One and that registers the fact that you own this game or you've purchased it, and then when you put the disc maybe into the Xbox Series X, it then gives you the option to download an updated version of the game, or maybe there'll be a patch or something that you have to download on the Xbox Series X so that it's playing, you know, obviously in its best form. I don't know. We don't know the ins and outs of how it's going to work, but it's an incredibly cool feature, and I think a lot of credit needs to be given to Microsoft for introducing it. I think it's a really cool feature. I think it's great, and I'm not surprised that CD Projekt Red have jumped on board. They've had a good relationship with Microsoft, obviously. They announced Cyberpunk 2077. They showed the teaser trailer and gameplay footage on Microsoft's E3 stage. So we do know they have a running history with Microsoft, but I don't think it's just Microsoft that they're working with. I think this is always something that CD Projekt Red believe quite passionately in, and that is value for money and offering the best gaming experience to their fans and to gamers. And whether it's with The Witcher 3 or whether it's going to be with Cyberpunk 2077, they have confirmed that the game is going to offer massive content and value for money. There's not going to be any microtransactions in the single player experience. There is going to be downloadable DLC content, but these will be on par with those that we got with The Witcher 3, which were absolutely massive and incredible value for money. So we do know that CD Projekt Red have always felt very passionately about that, so I'm not surprised that they're jumping on board and supporting Microsoft's special delivery program, and the fact that they've announced they will be implementing this with Cyberpunk 2077. It's great that Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red are leading by example. They always do this in the community, and it's one of the reasons that they're one of my favorite video game development studios. I have incredible respect for CD Projekt Red, and they never really fail to demonstrate why they are one of my favorite game development studios. What is interesting following on this news now is how PlayStation and Sony are going to respond to this news. So it will be interesting to see how the PlayStation 5 compares to the Xbox Series X. I know a lot of people are a little bit up in the air about which console they're going to jump on, and for a lot of people the things like this and, you know, policies and features like this could very well be the tipping point for them in terms of deciding which console they go for. So it will be interesting to see what Sony's response will be to it. Are they going to implement a similar kind of feature in the PlayStation 5, wherein any game that you purchase on the PlayStation 4 you can get a game or download a game or play or purchase a game for free because you've already paid for it? Maybe you'll get access to that game on the more powerful PlayStation 5. I think if Sony choose to go the way they did with this current generation of charging people again to purchase the game on the PlayStation 5 when they've already bought it on the PlayStation 4, I don't think it's going to be a good decision on their part. I think it might very well hurt their reputation. So I think Sony really have to walk a very fine line in terms of deciding what they're going to do. If they do implement a similar system, I think that would be really cool. I am going to buy Cyberpunk 2077 probably on the PlayStation 4 just because I don't have a powerful enough PC that I can really play that game the way I want to on PC. So I probably will get it on the PlayStation 4, and I would love to play it on the PlayStation 5. So I would love for them to you know, introduce this feature on that. There are other incredible games, The Last of Us Part 2 for example, Ghost of Tsushima. I can imagine that looks absolutely phenomenal on the PlayStation 5. So I would love to see Sony implement a similar kind of feature. I think the ball really is in Sony's court. They've been very, very quiet at the moment when it comes to the PlayStation 5, and I think they really need to step up their game, and they really need to be doing more to promote the PlayStation 5, what features it's going to have, what they're going to be offering, what games are going to be available on it when it comes out, because Microsoft are doing a pretty good job at the moment of letting people know what the Xbox Series X is and what their vision for the Xbox family is going forward, and what new features and new ideas it's going to offer, like smart delivery, like the Xbox Games Pass. And I think Microsoft are doing a pretty good job of sort of building people's trust up in them. I still think they lack in terms of exclusives and games, but I think all these features that they're introducing are absolutely fantastic, and I think they should definitely get respect for those new features. It will also be interesting to see what other game developers do in response to this as well, whether we're going to have Ubisoft jumping on board with the new Watch Dogs Legion, the new Assassin's Creed game that hasn't been announced yet, whether or not they're going to jump on board with this and allow people to purchase the game once and then have it available on the other consoles and the other platforms, whether or not Activision will jump on it, or if they're going to charge people twice for each version of the game depending on which console they're buying it on. It will be really interesting to see how these development studios and publishers respond to this brand new smart delivery feature and what happens going forward. So I thought this was really interesting news today. That's why I wanted to talk about it and obviously share my opinions on it. I'll be super interested to hear what your thoughts are on this, so please let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are. What's your opinion on smart delivery? What do you think will be Sony's response to it? And just, yeah, share your comments below. Let me know what you think. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Remember to hit the bell notification for updates on future content when that comes out. I'll be back again with more videos. I am currently working on my review for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I am very nearly finished on that game, so I am planning to knock out a review on that. I am also going to be doing another What Do We Know So so far video, and I will be doing a top 10 game releases in March 2020 as well. So I've got quite a few videos I'm currently working on at the moment, so please stay tuned for that. Look forward to that. But anyway, I hope you guys having a great week. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye guys.